All right, today we're going to tear into a theory that has absolutely exploded online. There's this viral video out there claiming that the biggest world events, they're not random at all. Instead, it says they're being secretly pulled off by some hidden financial power. So, in this explainer, we're going to walk through the pretty wild claims from that video, one slide at a time. Ready? Let's get into it. So the whole thing starts with this huge question, right? Why is America really going after Iran? I mean, we all hear the official stories, nuclear weapons, human rights issues, but this video, it says the real reason is something totally different, something they don't want you to know. And this question, well, it's our rabbit hole into a much, much bigger theory about who's actually calling the shots. And right here, you can see the two stories clashing. On one hand, you've got the official line, but on the other, you have this bombshell claim that Iran and just a couple of other nations are in the crosshairs because they're some of the last countries standing outside of this one single global banking system. The video basically says this. Okay, so what is this all-powerful system they're supposedly fighting against? Well, the source paints this picture of a pyramid, a hierarchy of financial control that it claims is calling the shots for pretty much every country on the planet. Let's dig into how they say this whole thing is structured. Right at the top of this pyramid, according to the source, you'll find something called the Bank for International Settlements, or the BIS. Now, the video makes it super clear. This isn't some government agency. It's a private, super powerful group based in Switzerland. And its job? Well, they claim it's to give orders to every country's central bank, basically running the entire global financial show from behind the curtain. So here's how they say the chain of command works. It all starts with the BIS at the top, setting these huge global policies. Then, those policies get handed down to the national central banks, like the Fed in the US, and their job is to make it happen. From there, it trickles down to the commercial banks, who enforce the rules on all of us. And the end result, the video claims, is that whole countries, even their governments, are playing by financial rules they never even agreed to.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the source tries to connect this huge global theory to your actual life. It claims that when your bank asks for all that know your customer paperwork, or when you hear talk about central bank digital currencies, that's not just your country making rules. Nope. According to them, those are orders coming straight down from the BIS. It's their way of showing just how deep this influence supposedly goes, from the world economy right down to your wallet.
But how do they keep this control? The source says it's not with guns or armies. It's way smarter than that. It's built into the very design of our money. The video lays out this theory that the whole system is basically a machine designed to create debt you can never, ever escape. And this is the first big piece of that puzzle. The source claims that money isn't just printed out of thin air. No, it says new money is born every single time a bank makes a loan. Think about it. A mortgage on a house, a loan for a new business, even when the government borrows money, all of it, they say, is created as a debt that has interest attached.
But here's the catch, and according to the source, it's a massive one. It's like a trap built right into the system's DNA. They claim that while the banks create the money for the loan itself, the principal, they never create the extra money needed to pay the interest. So what does that mean? It means it's literally mathematically impossible for everyone to pay back their debts. There just isn't enough money in the system to do it.
Which of course leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If the whole system is built to make sure nearly everyone is always in debt, then who are we all in debt to? Who's the one at the very, very top of this pyramid holding all the cards? And this is where the theory stops being vague and starts naming names. The source isn't just pointing at some shadowy, faceless group. No, it claims to know exactly who the architects are. It says this whole global financial game was designed and is still run by a tiny, extremely powerful group of families. How many families? According to the source, just 13. The video claims these specific families kicked this whole interest-based system off about 300 years ago, and they've just been quietly gathering more and more power behind the scenes ever since. And this quote, this really gets to the heart of the philosophy they say these families live by. This source highlights this line, supposedly from Nathan Rothschild, who they call the head of the most powerful family. Permit me to issue and control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws. The logic is pretty simple, right? If you control the money, who cares about the politics? You control everything that matters, the jobs, the economy, people's ability to survive. So then the source basically lays out a new map of the world based on this theory. On one side, you have the few countries it says are still outside this banking system, and on the other side, all the big global players, the UN, the World Bank, the IMF, even the World Health Organization. The video alleges that these organizations were actually created by these families to manage the world for them.
So that makes you wonder, right? What about our presidents and prime ministers? Well, the source material claims they aren't the ones with the real power. It calls them puppets, just faces put in place and controlled by this financial group. From this point of view, it doesn't really matter who you vote for, because the people who control the money are the ones actually running the show. And all of this entire centuries-long plan, is supposedly leading to one final goal: the end game. The source claims this isn't just about getting rich, it's about a much bigger, much more ambitious plan for the future of all of us.
And what is that end game? According to the source, it's about creating a single global authority. We're talking one world government to make all the rules, one global army to enforce them, and one single digital currency to track and control every single purchase. The video also makes the absolutely stunning claim that part of the plan is to dramatically reduce the world's population.
So you have to ask, how on earth could they ever pull something like that off? Well, the source alleges a pretty terrifying strategy: deliberately creating non-stop conflict, wars, chaos, social unrest. The idea is to get humanity so worn down, so desperate for peace, that we'll eventually beg for a one-world government as the only way out. Create the problem, wait for the reaction, and then offer your pre-planned solution. And that brings us full circle, right back to a fundamental question. The source material we've just walked through lays out this epic, sweeping theory that behind all the politics and headlines, the real war is about money. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Is the destiny of the world ultimately controlled by whoever controls its currency?